You're listening to the Maven Matriarch, the space where women come home to themselves, mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Bianca Marie Burke, mom, wife, entrepreneur, and your reminder that balance isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. Today's episode 13, is all about wellness and balance. But it's not the kind that you see on Instagram feeds or your Pinterest boards. We're talking about real balance. The kind that still works when the toddler is crying, when your inbox is exploding, and your coffee's been reheated 3 times. Let's be honest. Balance has become this shiny buzzword, okay, that sounds great, but feels impossible. We're told to find balance like it's some lost airing under the couch. But here's the truth: balance isn't something that you find, it's something you build. You build it intentionally, daily, and sometimes messily. The wellness world has tricked us into thinking that balance means equal time and perfect peace. But real wellness, it's dynamic, it shifts, it's ebb and flow, it bends with your season of life. Now, I'm a little under the weather. I don't know if you can tell. My voice, I lost my voice this week. My mom is in town, so it's been very busy. And my days are filled. I have a lot going on. So I have weeks that honestly could be better. A couple of weeks ago, I had a week that was insane. I had assignments due. I felt behind in where I needed to be for my MBA and even in my business. My daughter was a little bit more needy than usual in terms of just wanting to be around me, be on me, wanting that attention. And that's okay. I don't fault her for that. I'm her mom, and I need to be present. So it was chaos. I felt like I couldn't get a hold of the laundry, and my house just needed to be cleaned. After all, like I said, my mom was coming, and I just felt like there was so much to be done. Even with all of that, I still found moments, small moments of wellness and grace for myself. I still found pockets of time to have even a few moments of silence to make sure that I was okay. I did my best to keep my morning ritual a thing, as hard as it is. Have my ginger shot, my green juice, my coffee, and a read in the morning. Because even with all of the chaos around me, I still needed to make sure that I was taking care of me. And here's the thing: you can't be 100% in all areas all of the time. Some days, your wellness looks like meditation and a green juice. Other days, it's just deep breathing between your diaper changes, reheating last night's dinner for lunch, and that's about it. And that's okay. Both count, both are valid, both are balanced. So let's redefine wellness because you deserve better than the watered down version that society sells you. Wellness is not a spa day. It can be, but it's not just that. It's not all the supplements that you take. It can be, but it's not just that. Those are lovely. What it is the art of honoring your energy. That's what it is. It's knowing when to push, when to pause, and when to pivot. I tend to push very hard. Okay. I am very hard on myself. I can remember even recently when I compared myself to other entrepreneurs in my class um, who certainly have different lifestyles than me. You know, they have different issues, different problems, but I'm the only one in my group who has a young child, a young toddler. So I push myself and then continue to do so to keep up. In doing that, I struggle with sleep or lack thereof. Um, it's made me feel like giving up, really. I've had moments of doubt that I could even do this. But it's me. I push myself hard. I know that. But when I do catch myself, I know I need to recalibrate. And this taught me, it teaches me that true balance is living one moment at a time while taking care of you and honoring all of those moments. As long as I am doing my best, that's all that matters. And honestly, everything is always working out for my highest good. And I repeat that mantra regularly. I used to think that wellness meant achieving some kind of perfect daily routine. Like if I could just organize my planner, everything would magically align. But what I've learned is that structure serves you only when you listen to yourself and listen to yourself first. So if you need rest, rest. If you need to move, move. If you need silence, don't apologize for craving it. You're not lazy for needing downtime. I like to think you're wise because when you honor your energy, you expand your capacity. And that's what balance really looks like. Now, let's get practical. I call this the wellness triad. Okay. It's three pillars that keep your foundation strong even when life gets a little loud. First pillar is the physical reset. How are you caring for your body? Through movement, hydration, nourishment? Yes. It's also posture, sleep, presence. Sometimes wellness starts with just drinking a glass of water and unclenching that jaw. The second pillar is mental clarity. How are you managing your thoughts? That's important. You can't always control what happens, but you can control what you magnify and what you focus on. Are your thoughts working for you or are they working against you? Because balance begins in your mind first, long before it shows up in your calendar. And the third pillar is emotional regulation. How are you processing your feelings? It's okay to have them. because suppressing your emotions doesn't make you stronger, it makes you simmer. Strength is allowing yourself to feel those feelings without letting them dictate your day. I can recall a recent moment where I felt so overwhelmed by needing to work on my business and put in the much needed time. But my presence at home was needed as well. And that's emotional because I can't justify taking any time away from my child to work on my business. So that's truly a struggle for me. And I know that's a struggle for many other moms and parents, really. I was emotional because I know I am so dedicated to my business and succeeding in that, and wish I could focus more on it, especially now. That was overwhelming for me. But what I did was I recognized it and recognized how I was feeling. And in that moment, I made a decision to set time to be present with my daughter. The work in that time could wait because, after all, I had to prioritize. She needed me, and she needed me now in that moment. And that was okay. I was okay with that choice. So I ended up consoling her, spending time with her, giving her the time that she so needed because that time will never, never come back. So when she goes down for her nap, I proceed to work on what I needed to work on. I didn't get upset or worked up over the emotions I was feeling. I felt them and I made a choice. When those three, body, mind, and emotion, are even loosely aligned, everything else just flows easier. You stop running on empty. You stop performing for peace. You start living from a place of fullness. So let's call out the elephant in the room, shall we? Motherhood and balance. Those feel like opposites because our culture glorifies overextension. We have to admit that. We're taught that good moms are exhausted and selfless and constantly available. But as you know, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you shouldn't have to. I remember early on in motherhood, there was a moment where I realized that I was running on fumes, and I knew that I needed to shift my priorities to include self care because you are not meant to burn out to prove your worth. You're meant to be well and to model what wellness looks like for your children. Because when your daughter sees you rest, she learns that women deserve rest. When your son sees you set boundaries, he learns to respect them. That is legacy. That is leadership. That is the heart of a Maven Matriarch. So let's bring all of this together and let's make it tangible. Here's a framework that I'm going to give you to help you reclaim your wellness and balance right now. And I want you to do this week. Let me know in the comments how this worked for you. First step, audit your energy. Where are you leaking energy right now? What habits or people or routines are draining you the most? Let me know. And step two, identify your non negotiables. I would write them down. Pick three things that make you feel whole and protect them like assets. For me, other than my typical morning routine, one of my non negotiables is quiet time. And whenever I can get that in, I get it in. Step three, create your micro rituals. I want to hear at least one micro ritual that you incorporate in your day or week that helps you. You don't need 2 hours, okay, for self care. You need intention. That's what matters. Try doing 5 minutes of deep breathing before you go to bed, or a gratitude check in while you're making your coffee, because wellness thrives in small spaces. Step four, practice radical grace. And this one is important because some days you will miss it. Some days the balance tips, okay? And grace is what brings you back, not the guilt. This is the most important step because it's not always going to be perfect. I've fallen off on going on my morning walks. I'll have to be honest on that. Life has gotten busier. My toddler now refuses to sit in the stroller, but I am choosing grace instead of guilt. I'm not making excuses for myself. I just know that the reason I fell off is because of my schedule, and my daughter, you know, wants to run, and it becomes a little more difficult for me. So now my goal to get movement into my day won't encompass me going on a 2 to 3 mile walk. I now have shifted to taking 30 minutes, popping on a YouTube workout video, and doing that in the morning. What this changed for me is that I no longer beat myself up about not having the perfect morning routine. I build a routine or a system that fits into my life. And it's trial and error until it works. And it may even work for a while until I have to switch it up again. But guess what? I give myself the grace. So if you've been chasing balance and feeling like you're always behind, hear me on this. You are not. You are not behind. You are becoming. Wellness is not perfection, it is presence. Balance is not control, it is confidence in your choices. Because you're not supposed to do it all. You're supposed to do what matters with peace, with purpose, and with power. That's the energy of the Maven Matriarch. And if today's episode spoke to you, take a moment this week to reimagine what balance means to you. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's saying no. Maybe it's saying yes to something new. Whatever it is, just choose it boldly. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Maven Matriarch. If you're ready to redefine what wellness and balance looks like in your life, I want to invite you to take the next step. I'd love to connect where we dive deep into your specific season of life, motherhood, business, or personal growth. And I want to find out what actually would support you. So you can leave a comment down below. I'll reach out to you. Or you can book a call with me directly using the link in my bio. Or if you're listening on YouTube, click the link in the description. Let's design your version of wellness, not the one the world expects, but the one your soul craves. And as always, remember, you are the matriarch of your own story. Stay well, stay grounded, and stay in your power. I'm Bianca Burke. We'll see you next week.